So, okay, let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyaudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 30, verse number 22. If anybody would like to read the verse, you could please raise your hand. Today is Ekadashi, right? For all of you too?
Yes,
Happy
Mataji.
Yes,
Ekadashi.
Mataji. Radha Ekadashi.
Yes, Mataji.
Madhumai Krishna Kanta Mataji. Go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Prachetasaha Uchuhu Namo Namaha Klesha Vinashanaya Nirupita Udara Gunahvayaya Manovacho Vega Purojavaya Sarvakshamargair Agata Adhvane Namaha. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Krishna. Alright, so Pracheta Uchuhu. The Pracheta said, Namaha, obeisances. Namaha, obeisances. Klesha, material distress. Vina Shanaya, onto one who destroys. Nirupita, settled. Udar, magnanimous. Guna, qualities. Ahavayaya, whose name. Manaha, of the mind. Vachaha, of speech. Vega, the speed. Puraha, before. Javaya, whose speed. Sarva Aksha, of all material senses. Margehe, by the paths. Agat, not perceivable. Adhvane, whose course. Namaha, we offer our respects. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Prachetas spoke as follows. Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous transcendental qualities and your holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of the mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. We therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Nirupita, meaning concluded, is very significant in this verse. No one has to conduct research work to find God or make progress in spiritual knowledge. Everything is conclusively there in the Vedas. Therefore, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15, Vedescha sarver ahameva vedyaha. Understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the process of the Vedas is perfect and conclusive. The Vedas state, Adha Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahayam Indriyehe. The transcendental names, forms, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of the Lord cannot be understood by our blunt material senses. Sevanmukhe jivadu swayam eva spurati adha. When a devotee engages his senses favorably in devotional service, the Lord, through His causeless mercy, reveals Himself to the devotee. This is the conclusive Vedic process. The Vedas also indicate that simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, one can without a doubt become spiritually advanced. We cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the speed of mind or words. But if we stick to devotional service, we can easily and quickly approach Him. In other words, the Supreme Lord is attracted by devotional service, and He can approach us more swiftly than we can approach Him with our mental speculation. The Lord has stated that although He is beyond the range of mental speculation and the speed of thought, He can be approached easily by His causeless mercy. Thus, only by His causeless mercy can He be attained. Other methods will not be effective. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjanशलाकया Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna. So we are reading from, let's read the verse first. The Pracheta spoke as follows: Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous transcendental qualities and holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of the mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. We therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again. We are reading from 4th Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Creation of the Fourth Order, chapter number 30, which is named as what? The
activities of the
Activities of the
Prachetas.
Prachetas.
activities of the Prachetas, very nice. And then we are at the part of the chapter where Krishna has already appeared. Krishna has given various benedictions to the Prachetas, and now the Prachetas are in ecstasy and they are offering prayers, heartfelt prayers to Krishna in faltering voice. And this is the first prayer that they are saying, offering to Krishna. That Krishna, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Now, one can ask one question. There are few points in this verse. Let me list the points which I understood, and then we'll discuss one by one. So, one is that the words of the Vedas are conclusive. There is no need to do any research, and there is no need to do any mental speculation or philosophical research to find out who God is and if there is one God or there are many gods. The word of the Vedas is conclusive, and Prabhupada is giving a reference from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 15. Vedescha sarver ahameva vedya. So the main aim of studying the Vedas is to understand Krishna. And the second point that Prabhupada is emphasizing in the purport is that Krishna can only be known by his causeless mercy. Now, this is a very big topic of discussion actually. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives us the whole book called Madhurya Kadambini on this discussion. The book unfolds with this, that if Krishna's mercy is causeless, then how can we say that it is dependent on devotional service? So this is an apparent contradiction. There is no contradiction, but it is an apparent contradiction, right? Prabhupada is saying here, he's trying to explain us that Krishna's mercy, causeless mercy, is the only way that we can approach him. And then he's also saying that the only way to approach Krishna is to engage favorably in the service of devotional service of Krishna, right? But then the mercy is causeless, and he has mentioned causeless mercy at least 3 times in the purport, meaning it is so important. And the third point is that we cannot depend on our mental speculation or speed of the mind or speed of the words to invite Krishna in our life. Okay, so we'll go over all these points. The big thing is that Prachetas, who are Prachetas? Who are Prachetas?
The sons of Prachinavas.
Prachina.
So basically, they are kingly order, right? They're not like ordinary people. They are like from the house of a king. Like they're princes. They're princesses, not a girl princesses, but they are prince. They are all prince. So when somebody is born like that, would they have a problem in life? Would they have like the regular day-to-day problems? Eating, sleeping, all these things will be education, job. Will they have such problems?
No, Mataji.
No, no,
Mataji.
no.
They won't have, right?
Problem.
They are
Yes.
like what golden spoon.
So they won't have those problems. But look at the first thing that they're saying, which actually struck my attention, which caught my attention, is like you relieve all kinds of material distress. So we can, if one is not a devotee of Krishna, okay, and if somebody, we studied this last time when we met, that Krishna gives luxuries, he gives material opulence, he gives wealth to a devotee who can manage it. Right? We studied this, and a devotee who's not able to manage it, Krishna will take away because it is becoming an impediment, it is becoming a distraction. Now, Prachetas have it, and Krishna has given them the benediction that you're going to have it for 1,000,000 years of demigods. So, what material distress are they referring to? Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. If one is not a devotee, one can think of this statement as being duplicitous, or there's a taste of duplicity. Why? Because you really don't have a distress. So, what distress are you talking about? But because Prachetas are pure devotees of Krishna, they may not have had been a pure devotee from the get go, but now they are because of the darshan of Krishna. So, what kind of material distress are they saying? What's your understanding? They are kings.
Janma
They're like
mrityu
going
jara
to do.
Birth,
vyadhi.
death, and
Janma
disease.
mrityu jara vyadhi.
Janma Mrityu Jara.
Birth,
Okay,
death.
these are like obvious things which we can see with our eyes and perceive with our senses: birth, death, old age, and disease. What else? Somebody can be very rich, very wealthy, very educated, very beautiful, very powerful, but they can still be facing material distress. Now, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is common, right, to everybody,
Yes.
even to animals, plants, every kingdom of every species, it is common. What
Hare
other material distress are
Material attachment. Material
can you
attachment and
raise your
problems.
hand and speak, because you guys are speaking over each other, and I actually want to hear each one of you. And Prafulla Mataji, yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Material attachment, family
The
relations
material
and longings.
attachment. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, thank you. Material attachments can be a source of distress. R. Vijay Kumari Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, they are Kshatriyas. So they are protect their provinces from other kings. That is a big problem for them.
Okay, so you mean the anxiety
Kshatriyas.
of being conquered over? Okay, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. Leena Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी जी आधि आत्मिक आधि दैविक एंड आधि भौतिक this kind of distress you can say.
Very nice. So what is Adi Bhautik?
Adi bhautik means problems because of other people.
Okay, what is Adhyatmik?
Adhyatmic because of our own mind and body.
What is Adi Devik?
This like natural disaster and all.
Because of the higher powers. Thank you very much. Very nice. Anyone else? So see, because somebody is rich, because somebody is like powerful, because somebody is educated, because somebody is beautiful, that doesn't mean that they don't have distress. It actually takes to be a devotee of Krishna to understand that everybody is suffering. It actually takes that. There is no other way to understand. Prabhupada gives example, right? I think I've stated it many times in the past. I think he was in New York. He said that only a devotee can understand the pain of a conditioned soul. Only a pure devotee. And then he gave example. There was a big multi-story building. Said the karmis, they think that they will find happiness by making these buildings, but a devotee knows how painful, or how what kind of a distressful life that person is leading, that they make this multi-story building, and then they go on top of that building, and they're so distressed and sad that they actually jump from that building and commit suicide. Okay, so a devotee can understand. So it actually takes a devotee of Krishna to understand that everybody is suffering. It's not that, because happiness is the function of what? Happiness is the function of
Soul.
Mind.
very nice. is not a function of mind. Happiness is the function of soul. You know, a Satchit Ananda potency is endowed in the soul, which is part and parcel of Krishna. So, unless and until we are actually harnessing the happiness from the level of the soul, which can only happen when we go to the next step, is when we actually engage in pure in devotional service to Krishna, we are just doing patchwork in our life, right? We discussed about patchwork. If you have like a somebody's house, uh, there's some problem or some paint chipping off from the wall, and then the person just paints over that to hide that chipped paint from the wall. So it's like a patchwork. So like that, if we are actually not going to the level of the soul to find our happiness, we are just doing patchwork. And the patchwork is not going to last long, you know. It's not going to be a very sturdy treatment. So, what is the treatment? Understand that when we meet someone, meet them from the right place. Meet them. We discussed this. What was the discussion? The principle of love is higher than the principle of knowledge. Remember this? We discussed this. The principle of love is higher than the principle of knowledge. Do you remember this or
No,
forgot it?
Mataji. Did not remember.
Okay, anybody else remembers? Nobody remembers because we're not practicing. Yes,
That's why
Prem Prakash.
Yes,
That's
Mataji,
why
I
they did.
remember. I remember. Yes, you said it.
So what does it mean?
What does it mean? Yes, because maybe it shows that what we are implementing, what we have learned. You know, what Bhagavad Gita teaches us and what Krishna says. That we have to show mercy to others also and give them love. That is so important. In return, for any other emotions, if we give love, then we get back. Then the people also change and we look at them with that angle rather than just showing our knowledge.
Okay, thank you. Prem Prakash Ardas Prabhu.
Devotional service is Krishna Karshani. It attracts Krishna. But Gyanis never attract Krishna.
Yes. Okay, like you. So the principle of love is higher than the principle of knowledge is a deep topic actually. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada demonstrated it. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada made statement like, even if I have to feed people meat or liquor, but somehow or other I'm able to bring them to the lotus feet of Krishna, I will consider it as success. Now he's an acharya. Okay, he's not making this statement out of fanaticism or a sentiment. There's a deep understanding that there's a principle of love that, okay, I'm very, very concerned about you, that you have turned away from Krishna. Somehow or other, come back. You know, somehow or other, try to come back. Okay, if you don't want to make any changes in your life, that's okay, but just add something about Krishna, add something. So that takes a lot of love. Otherwise, the general definition of what goes around as love is actually a disciplinary action that you have to change, give up this, give up that, give up that. But the emotion of love makes us change anyway, right? For example, the acharyas give us example of a mother. Says a mother, is a child born with a manual? Yeah, when a baby is born, is a baby born with a manual that this is my feeding
No,
regimen, this is my diaper change time, this is I'm gonna get sick at
no,
this time?
no,
No,
no, Mataji,
Mataji.
no, nothing like that.
It's not like that. Now, whoever has had children can actually, second the statement I'm gonna make, that it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to raise a small baby. There is no sleep. There is always tiredness on part of the caretakers, parents, grandparents, or whoever it is. But then we continue to do it day after day after day, don't we? Yes. Do you do that if
Yes,
if
Mataji.
you're a
Yes,
parent
Mataji.
Yes,
I
Yes,
do.
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yes,
Yes,
or
Mataji, I
a
do.
Mataji.
grandparent? And then you can do it the next time. People have more than one child, two children, three children, four children. They continue to do that. What is the force that keeps one going? What is the force? Why would one give up their sleep? Why would one give up their
Love for the child.
Love for the child.
Love for the child.
Yes. So we actually don't even realize that the life has changed so much, but then the emotion that keeps us going is the love. So that way we can test that, okay, am I loving Krishna? Now, the platform where we are standing right now, it's very hard to know if I'm loving Krishna or not directly. So what is the indirect test? The indirect test is that how am I relating to the people around me? How am I relating to the living entities around me? Because if what is the saying in English? Prabhupada says, if you love me, then you love my dog. Yeah, have you heard of that? If you love me, you love my dog. Prem Prakash Adas Prabhu, you are like a Bhanumatika Pitara of such things. So,
Yes, Mataji, that's very true. You
so
love me, then you love me in whole, everything of me.
yes, if you love me, you love my dog, right? This is a saying in
Yeah,
English, the idiom.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yes.
Prabhupada mentions this idiom that, okay, if you love Krishna, then you're going to love anything and everything that's related to Krishna. So that's an indirect way of showing one's love to Krishna. Krishna, I love you. Because I love you, I love all these things around you, all these people, all these living entities. And if we really love them, then the expression of the love, because love means action and service, right? It's an active word. It's not a static word. It's not like sleeping. Is there activity going on? Then one will be genuinely concerned. And when genuinely concerned means that I'm very concerned about your lost relationship with Krishna. Can we mend that? That relationship needs to be mended. Can we, repair that? Can we bring that back? And then everything will fall in place. That's just doing one thing. And the Shastras give example of watering the root. Yeah, have you heard of that example in Bhagavad Gita, is Upanishad, watering
Yes.
the root of a
Yes.
plant?
Mataji.
Fish,
Yes.
Yatha
Yes.
taror
whole
mool
plant.
Mataji.
Yes.
Yatha
So
taror
like
mool.
that, we water the root, and what is the watering the root in my life or your life or everybody else's life mean? That we actually try to mend our relationship with Krishna. It's very important, and it's filled with fun. It's filled with a lot of affection, and it fills with a lot of auspiciousness, and there's no material distress. So why are we not attracted to the all attractive? Hmm? Why are we not attracted to the all attractive? Krishna is all attractive, but we are not attracted. Why are we not attracted? What are some of your take? What are some of your understandings in the topic? Why are we not attracted to the all attractive? If there's so much attraction around him, everything, first thing that Prajita is saying, you relieve all kinds of material distress, and we are looking for distress, relief of the distress from our life. Then why are we not attracted? I'm
Because we
waiting.
are conditioned souls.
Because we are
Conditioned souls bound by the three gunas of material nature, three moods of material nature.
okay. Thank
And
you. Very
coming
nice.
out
So
of
that's
it is very difficult.
okay. Thank you. What else?
Maya.
What Anjali Mataji? Maya. It's very easy to blame on something else than someone else. Okay, thank you. Yeah,
We
Prafulla
follow
Mataji.
Because
Huh?
we are more attached. We are more attached to material bondage.
You're an agenda of attachment today. I like it. Thank you. Okay, Shubham Patil Prabhuji.
We don't
Pre-
have that much love for Krishna, that's why.
we have, but we are not harnessing it. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, Prem Prakash Adas Prabhu, you were saying something.
We follow and we rather follow that typical saying, a bird in a hand is worth two birds in the bush. Because we can't see Krishna, whatever attractions are around us, we would like to stick to it more strongly. That's the only reason that I find. Because Krishna is not seen in front of us and other things are seen in front of us, we follow that principle of bird in hand is worth two in the bush. And that's how we remain attached to these same attractions, though all of them create a lot of miseries.
Okay, we'll
Hare
come back
Krishna
to it.
Mataji.
Thank you. Leena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I forgot what. Because here in bodily conception of life, Mataji, we don't see soul, or super
Okay.
soul.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. So, very nice. So, the Shastras explain that when a person, there's an example, is it example in Nectar of Instruction that when somebody is jaundiced, they can't taste the sweet candy as sweet, they taste the sweet candy as bitter. But is the
Yes.
sweet candy bitter?
No.
No, Mataji.
You feel like
Jaundice.
But because
only
of our disease,
person
it's
affected
bitter.
with jaundice feels it is bitter.
Yes. So, like that, Krishna consciousness is very sweet, but we are jaundiced. So basically, the problem is not with Krishna or Krishna's name or Krishna's pastimes, but the problem is internal. It is not external. External problems are just a projection of what's inside me. Okay, the Maya is not, I don't have to go hunt for Maya outside of me. I am harboring it. And because I'm harboring it, I'm coloring my life with it. You got to understand this. And then your life will be so much better. I'm telling you, it will be so much better because we stop looking for problems outside. We stop looking and blaming, and then we save a lot of energy and use that energy into something which is more worth. We have to start putting things and situations and incidents and people in our life with proper worth, how much worth everything has. Okay, so the problem is internal. I am diseased. And because I am diseased, that is why I am affected by three modes of material nature. That is why I am attracted to something which is not, which makes me forget Krishna. I can be attracted to anything in the world, but not forget Krishna. That's an art. That's what devotees do. Right? They see everything through Krishna. Like Prem Prakash Hadas Prabhu was saying that we cannot see Krishna, but we hear from Rupa Goswami, Premanjana, no, this is Parama Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Shanta Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti, Yamashama Sundaram, I'm forgetting the last line. Surekha
Yam
Mataji, what is
Shama
it?
Yes. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam
Achinta Guna Swarupam. Yes. So Shama Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Brahma is saying, my eyes are anointed with the ointment of love. You know how some women put kajal, mascara, or eyeliner, to beautify their eyes? Like that, a devotee has put this ointment of love in their eyes, and then when they look at everything with those eyes, with an ointment of love for Krishna, they see nothing but Krishna. We are not able to see Krishna because I haven't put that ointment, I haven't put that ointment. So, what is the way to put that ointment? First, we have to desire. Do I want to? If I want to, then I need to take up a process. It's a process. Loving somebody or something is not easy. It's a process. Prabhupada explains love is not cheap. He says that. And loving Krishna is not cheap at all. But it is also easy because we have so much help. We have the help of the acharyas, we have the help of the devotees, and we have the help of Krishna as Super Soul also. Okay, so and once we harness that quality from inside us, as we harvest that, then one can actually see what's permanent and what's not permanent. So what's worth of my time and effort and emotion, and where I have to develop a detachment. That doesn't mean that the devotees don't suffer or they don't face difficulties, but the perception is different. Okay, they don't get absorbed by either a lot of jubilation or a lot of distress. They don't get absorbed. We have examples. We have examples from very, like, let's say Dhruva Maharaj was very absorbed because he got insulted, like verbally insulted by his stepmother. And that triggered him to go to the forest and search out Krishna, who can give him kingdom bigger than his great-grandfather Brahma. So that was like a very small thing, just verbal insult to a 5-year-old child. But then after he became Krishna conscious, he saw Krishna, it didn't matter. It didn't matter who said who. Right? It mattered in the beginning, but it didn't matter at the end. Then we have example of the Nitya Siddha devotees, like we have example of Prahlad Maharaj, Mahardas Thakur. Then we have example, of course, Vasudev and Devaki are also Nitya Siddha devotees, but when they are playing a part and they are put in the jail by Khans, we do read in Krishna book that that there was a little bit sadness there. Right? We do read in Krishna book. It's not that it's a material sadness. I'm not saying that they were like getting succumbed and depressed, but the sadness, we see that when Krishna was born to Vasudev, he was lamenting in his heart that when a son is born, and we are supposed to do so much charity, but let me just do the mental charity. So the sadness was also directed to Krishna's service. So it's not that the devotees are not suffering. It's not that they're not facing any reverses in life. It's not that they don't have any problems, but the perception of the problem is different. The solution of a material problem can never be another material thing. It has to be spiritual. So it's actually very good in all aspects. That's why it says Krishna consciousness is all auspicious. It's all auspicious in our 3 domains of existence: physical, emotional, and spiritual. There's auspiciousness sprinkled at every level. And of course, it is very satisfying and it brings real happiness, because it is harvesting the property of happiness from the soul level. It's not harvesting it from the body or mind level. That's flickering. Okay. And then we can discuss a little bit that there is a big discussion in Madhurya Kadambini. If you read even the beginning introduction and the first chapter, that if Krishna's mercy is causeless, then how is it dependent on devotional service of a devotee? It should not be dependent on anything, because it's causeless. Then how can you say that there is a cause which is found? So there is Tark Vitark, there is discussion going on, and there is very nice discussion, but the conclusion is that Bhakti Devi, the devotional service of Krishna, is represented by the deity called Bhakti Devi. She actually has a potency to incite the causeless mercy of Krishna. No, she has this potency. For example, in Damodar Leela, we see that when Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna and she was using all the ropes, different energies of Krishna were coming and foreplaying that we're not going to let Krishna bind. But when the Daya Shakti, the mercy factor of Krishna, the mercy potency of Krishna became prominent, all other potencies were subdued. So like that, to incite causeless mercy of Krishna, one needs to approach Bhakti Devi. So much so that if I have to approach Krishna, I have to go through a devotee, right? So to incite that causeless mercy, one needs to go through that route. So it is not dependent, but it is a mercy of Bhakti Devi to incite the causeless mercy of Krishna. This is a nutshell evaluation by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Madhurya Kadambini. And then he goes on to explain the 9 stages of bhakti, that how at every stage, what is happening. Anyway, so it's a very nice prayer. Try to go deep in it. Try to be grateful to Prachetas, and try to seek them blessings, that we also get to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead with utmost authenticity from our heart. That and then we are able to offer heartfelt prayers to Krishna. The conclusion is already settled. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are beginning from where the Vedas end. You see, Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness begins from where the Vedas end. Because the end of Vedas is Krishna, and then we start understanding Krishna from there. Understand that Krishna consciousness is causeless, but it is dependent on devotional service, though it is causeless. Understand that that is the only way to approach Krishna. Krishna is not going to get attracted by anybody's post or anybody's physical features or wealth or power, but what attracts the Supreme Personality of Godhead's heart is how much love are we carrying. Understand that I'm not able to see Krishna, but I can understand that if I'm going towards Krishna, is how much affection and love in a real proper sense am I bringing in people who or things which belong to Krishna. Right? If you love me, you love my dog, like that. So if you love Krishna, you're going to love everything which is associated with Krishna. It's not that I gave example. This is a very common example which came into my realization many years ago. People, when they go on vacation and they go, this is example, okay? They go in the hotels. I've seen that. Maybe I was like that too. Why should I say to others? Maybe I was like that too. That, okay, because we are not paying the water bill, because we are not paying the electricity bill, we are going to just keep it running, or we're not just going to pay much attention. But a devotee of Krishna will say that this is Krishna's energy. I'm going to use it and not abuse it. So the perception changes because you're carrying Krishna consciousness in your heart everywhere. Understand, this is like one natural example. There's so many where you can apply Krishna consciousness. That the principle of love is superior than the principle of knowledge. Always. And